Hi guys, Allison here, the Bored Housewife. Thank you so much for joining me for another week's episode of the Bored Housewife. Again, please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on social media if you are liking what you're seeing. So this episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm trying to keep it sweet and short. Just because I have so much going on, and this is my last episode that I'm shooting here in Alabama before we leave. And so at this point, with it airing, I should be in Japan by now, which sounds crazy because it still feels so far in the future for me. But luckily, I had some time that I could shoot these episodes ahead of time, and so yeah, this episode I'll be in Japan. Or in Gunnersville, Alabama, and then the next episode I'll be in Okinawa, Japan, so it'll be super exciting. So, I don't have my drink poured yet, but, cheers guys, let's have some fun. Alright, so first things first, right? The cocktail of the hour. I'm just, tired and out of ideas at this point. So today I'm just drinking Four Roses bourbon over my Four Roses bourbon whiskey stone. I don't know why I waited to pour it until now, but I did. So it's a pretty cute stone. You put this in your freezer. Ooh, it's very, very cold. I don't know if you can see that there. It says Four Roses on it. But yeah, you can drink it with other whiskey too. But I had Four Roses. Woo! Okay. I need this. Okay. So this episode isn't anything philosophically inspiring or anything like that. I'm gonna try really hard not to cry because I feel like I'm on the verge of tears. Let me have a drink. Okay. Everything has just been, coming to a head. I'm getting ready to go visit a lot of really good friends that I haven't seen in, 2 years now, I think. 1.5, 2 years. I don't know how long it's been. Part of that is because of the COVID pandemic. I'm sure a lot of us would have gotten an opportunity to have seen each other sooner, but obviously that put a damper on traveling plans and all of that. But I'm really happy. I'm calling it my goodbye tour because my one friend, she's having a bachelorette party in Palm Springs. And so when they decided on a date, I was like, okay, this is kind of really close to when we leave. But I'm like, you know what? That's okay. Like, I can do this and I'll just get everything prepared ahead of time and it'll work out. And it totally has. It's awesome. And so since they were having it in Palm Springs, like, she's from Charlotte. Another really good friend lives in the New Jersey area, New York, New Jersey area. And, like, more other friends, that are in both of those areas are going to be coming out to Palm Springs. And then I have another really great friend, two really great friends who live in LA. So I'm like, you know what? I should go out ahead of time and spend some time with them. Then I have two other really great friends. One lives in San Diego and one lives in Joshua Tree area that, we're all going to rendezvous in San Diego for some time as well. So I get to see so many friends and I'm so excited. And when you see this, I've already seen them, so I can tell taco stories or whatever about that trip maybe once I'm in Japan. But there's gonna be so much to talk about in the next episode you watch. I hope. So it's just crazy to me to think that the next episode I'm gonna be living in Japan. It just doesn't. I'm so excited, but it just doesn't feel like real life. So I'm still getting there, I guess. But yeah, so I'm getting ready to go on my goodbye tour, is what I'm calling it. And I am just so happy that I get the opportunity to see all these people. As much as I would love for everyone to come out to Japan and visit me, right now with COVID restrictions, is not even an option. So until our planet gets, off of this or on back to normal, whatever that's going to look like, tourism isn't really going to be an option for a little while. So hopefully I get to see some people in the next 3 years, but we'll see. No pressure. Kind of pressure. No, I'm just kidding. No pressure. But it would be a good opportunity if you ever wanted to see Japan to come while I'm living there. Because why not, right? But anyways, so this episode, I just want to talk about how grateful I am that you guys, I am trying so hard not to cry. I have just been crying all day today. It's just been a mess. I'm just like, it's not so serious. You can relax. I'm just so grateful for everyone who's taken the time to listen to me and who tunes in each week. Okay, I gotta take a break. I'll be right back. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to film this episode today. Maybe that was a bad idea. No, I'm trying to say is I really appreciate everyone who's taken the time. Starting this podcast, I really didn't know what I was doing. I mean, content-wise, I knew I had something to say. I know I have funny stories and interesting life experiences. I know there's a bunch of people on the internet who do a bunch of other stupid, crazy shit, and people watch them. So I thought, hey, I can just be another one of those people. But as this has evolved into talking more about philosophy and getting to share that with you guys, it has become such a bigger part of my life than I realized. And I talk the last episode, I kind of talked some shit about college a little bit, and I don't regret my college experience for anything. I hate how much debt I'm in. I wish I would have better planned financially for college. Fingers crossed, hopefully by the time we're watching this, my debt is paid off. So if that works, the plan that we have in order, if that works out, that'll be awesome. But if not, whatever. It's there. It's not like a looming thing over my head. It just is what it is, right? But I've always just loved talking about this, and to have an outlet to talk about it, and then on top of that, to have people that actually care what I'm saying, and to make this thing that seems like old crotchety old men do, that are dead in ancient Greece or whatever. It's just it's really cool. And I think the perspective that I get to bring, not to toot my own horn, but to have a woman talking about this and how to relate it to your daily life, I think is an interesting thing that's not fully out there all the time. We have a lot of people that get on there with the self-help bullshit and just regurgitate the same sayings over and over again. And I really hope that you guys don't feel like that's something that I'm doing, because from my perspective, I feel like I'm bringing something more unique to this. Working out of certain books and again, going forward, and once we get more settled in Japan, the more reading that I do, and kind of going back to some other readings that I've liked, and just kind of picking out some cool ideas to talk about with you guys is really important to me. And the fact that you guys watch and listen to me, I just thank you. I'm just so grateful to have this, because, and this is the part that I'm trying not to cry about. This has given me a lot of purpose, and as we have talked about the last several weeks, finding our purpose and all of that, this last 3 years I felt a little lost, and sorry, there's gonna be a lot of pause as I try to collect myself here. I've just felt a little lost in certain ways. Like, there's been this part of me that's embraced being a wife, and I love that so much. I love my husband, and I love being a wife. Okay, break time. All right. If I cry, please don't judge me, okay? I was like, don't cry on your podcast. Don't cry. Nobody wants that, especially the people listening. It's going to be like, it's just going to be so obnoxious. Don't cry on your podcast. Anyways, just I've loved this new role that I've taken on, but we're very complex. We have so many things that we all strive for and want to be, and trying to figure out what that is and the opportunities that we have and in like the spaces that we're given is hard sometimes. And so, me in this very like stripped down sense, I'm somebody who wants to be a filmmaker and work in Hollywood and make amazing films, right? So you pluck me out of that environment. What are my options now? And the whole reason I moved to LA was to further my career and all of that. And instead I got an amazing husband. So it's hard because on one hand, I really love my life, and I wouldn't trade anything in the world for my husband. If I never become a screenwriter or director because I married my husband, then I'm totally okay with that, to be honest. He's the best person. I know. Sorry, I can't fucking talk today without crying. Okay. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Trust me, you guys don't want to see me cry. I am one of the ugliest criers. This whole podcast episode is going to be like, I'm trying not to cry. I'm crying. I'm trying not to cry. I need a break. I'm crying again. I'm going to just say this fast, and maybe I can get it out without crying. Take a deep breath, Allison. As much as I've embraced this role since we've been out here, there is still, this huge part of me that has, other ambition and other things that I want to do. And creating this podcast has kind of helped me live up to some of that. And kind of like allowed me to be creative in certain ways, and even coming up with the more philosophical point of view just makes me extremely happy, because I just love talking about this, and this isn't something that I've really gotten to talk in depth about since I was in college. And so it's fun that I get to use this skill and get to share this. And so I just want to thank you guys for listening and tuning in as often as you do. It means a lot to me, and it definitely keeps me going and doing this. I know once we get to Japan, I definitely am going to continue with the philosophical outlook. I think it's really important. I think it's important, especially in today's society, because, so many people are so one-track minded, and I think it's so important to be able to look at all sides of something, and also to hear a piece of information and then do your own interpretation of it, or do research or hear a few different pieces of information and then kind of get to come to your own conclusion. But I think philosophy keeps us open-minded, and it keeps us humble, it keeps us empathetic, it keeps us, in all these really good places. And I just don't think that there's a lot of stuff out there that is trying to, ask that of people. I think so much is trying to ask us to choose a side or to be a certain thing or whatever. And the thing is that no matter where you're looking from, there's a million sides to every story. And what's right today in this scenario could be wrong tomorrow in that scenario. And a lot of it, too, is just up to the people that are involved. And again, it's all about just like learning from these different experiences and like as we go through life and whatever is handed to us, like how we react to them, how we handle certain things. And right now I'm being very emotional and I wish I wasn't. But yeah, I want to continue on that path 100% Japan. But I also want to try to add some more entertainment value as well. And I really don't know how that looks. I've tried a few things since, I've gotten this going. And I don't know if that was quite the right angle for me. So I want to continue to just experiment. And I hope you guys are up for that ride. I definitely want to share what living in Japan is like, what living in a military community in Japan is like, what traveling in that area is like. I know, at least for me, there's not a ton of people that I know that have gotten to explore that part of the world. A lot of times, the worlds are more third world than what we're used to. So I just imagine that there's going to be a lot of eye opening cultural experiences that I'm super excited to see and, hopefully get some new perspectives off of. And so I just hope you guys are up for that. If you're not, let me know. If you're like a devoted listener and you're like, yeah, I don't really care, Allison, let me know. But I think it'll be really interesting because I think we'll be able to tie it in with some philosophy and all of that fun stuff. And also maybe get some learn of some other philosophers that I've not heard of before. Maybe living in Japan, I'll get to learn about some more people from that area of the world that aren't as relevant over here or something. I don't know. I'm totally open-minded to all of it. But obviously there's a lot of change, and it's just crazy to me that this episode is the next one that you see, I'll be in Japan. And so the plan is that, once we get there, and we'll have to quarantine for 14 days or something like that. So I'll probably be making the next episode within my hotel room of some sort. But bear with me if for some reason, internet connection's horrible or whatever. If I don't have a good internet connection, it's going to be really hard for me to put one of these out. So I'm really hoping that that's not an issue. But I highly recommend you guys to follow me on social media. Again, my links are underneath in the descriptions. Especially Instagram is a really good one to check out because that's where Instagram and Facebook is where I post most often. So at the very least, if for some reason in 2 weeks from now I can't get an episode out because of whatever external things are out of my control, then I will post something there to let you guys know. But please know that this is not over. This is going to continue to happen. Hopefully there will be an episode in 2 weeks, so it's not a big deal. But from where I'm posting this now, I have a month and a half, actually probably almost 2 months before I have to I'll post another one of these. And so a lot of pre-planning went into trying to make sure that this continued. I wish I could have done one a week, but I just ran out of time. And so I hope every other week is good enough for you guys to keep you connected with me for a little while. Again, I'll also be sharing stuff on my personal Instagram page. And so, if you're curious at all about the sort of stuff that we're seeing, we're doing a lot of camping in Florida and going down one end of Florida and then coming back up the other side. And so I really hope to see an alligator. That's one of my goals. I don't know why. I'm going to be so freaked out if I see one, but I also want to see some manatees. So there's kayaking and hopefully some sort of crazy backcountry boating that we get to do to see some alligators. We're going to Dry Tortugas National Park in the Everglades, but Dry Tortugas has been on my list of places that I've really wanted to go for a long time. And so super excited to do that. It's a fort. It's a national park, but it was a fort out in the middle of the ocean off of Key West. And so You have to like take a ferry or a seaplane to get out there. So we're taking a ferry and doing like a day trip, and there's like snorkeling and a like an old fort tour and all of that. It's super neat, like a military fort. And so yeah, we're doing Miami, and then we're going up to Savannah, Charleston, and then doing a few more national parks and forests. Hopefully, doing a night in Kentucky. I'm obviously a huge fan of bourbon, so I really wanted to do a bigger Kentucky or a bigger bourbon tour. Bourbon Trail up in Kentucky is awesome, but time did not allot it, and also it's really fucking expensive. I was like, you can just like go and like pay to do the tours and stuff, but like I'm going there, like my husband and I, we like this stuff, like we're going in there to drink it as well. So you look at the tours with like the distilleries and the like driver that takes you around and stuff to all of them, because of course they're not all like right next to each other, they're all spread out, and it's like $300 to $500 a person. So I'm just like, all right, that's another trip. That's a trip in its own. Oh no, I spilled my burp. Anyways, so we're gonna do that. Then we end in St. Louis, and then we fly to Seattle a few days. Our plane to Japan takes out of Seattle, but I am so freaking excited that I get to see Seattle. It's been on my bucket list my whole life almost. Like, I hate to admit this. Actually, don't hate to admit it. I'm proud of it. I love the show Frasier. I don't know if you guys know that show, but it's one of my favorite sitcoms from the 90s. And I've been obsessed with Seattle ever since I found that show. And I was a little kid when that was out. So, really excited to do that. And yeah. So, promise I was going to make this one sweeter. I know there's been sweeter and shorter, right? No. But yeah, mostly I just wanted to do something kind of easy. And again, just thank you guys. We've been talking so much about purpose and finding ourselves the last few episodes, and this has been a huge part of for me, and I'm just so thankful for it. I'm so thankful for you guys that are enjoying it. When you start something new, you just don't know how it's gonna take, and even though it's not a big thing, it makes me happy that the few of you that do listen and watch and reach out to me, the fact that I have any sort of like impact on you and have inspired you to do something, like, just makes my heart so big. It just makes me really happy. So, okay. Trying not to cry again. So emotional right now, but when I see you guys next, I'll probably be just as crazy, but on another spectrum, because we'll be in Japan. I just can't believe it. I'm just so freaking excited. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun ride, guys. We're gonna have some really great adventures and some good times. I can't wait. I can't wait to share everything with you. It's gonna be so cool. So, anyways, thank you guys. Love you guys. You're amazing. Yeah, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.